standing. Look who's still breathing, still shining, still unbothered while they're out there scrambling, panicking, rewriting their little incantations, wondering why nothing's working anymore. You, my beautifully untouchable friend, you just became the glitch in their entire system, the anomaly they can't explain, the equation that doesn't add up. Because somewhere between their curses and your coffee, between their hexes and your healing, between their rituals and your rise, something absolutely catastrophic happened to their plans. You didn't just survive their witchcraft. You absorbed it, transmuted it, and sent it back wrapped in a bow made of your own unbothered energy. And now they're the ones losing sleep. Now they're the ones feeling the weight. Now they're the ones wondering why everything they threw at you came back to them multiplied, amplified, and absolutely merciless. Let's rewind for a second, because this story, this delicious cosmic reversal, it didn't start yesterday. It started the moment they decided you were the problem. The moment they gathered in their little circles, physical or digital, and whispered your name like a curse. The moment they lit their candles, burned their herbs, wrote your name on paper, and genuinely believed they had the power to dim your light. Oh, the audacity, the absolute arrogance. These people, these amateur architects of chaos, they thought they could manipulate energy they don't even understand. They thought they could weaponize forces beyond their comprehension. They thought they could point their intentions at you like a loaded weapon and watch you crumble. But here's what they forgot. Here's the fatal flaw in their entire operation. You can't curse what you can't comprehend. You can't hex what you can't reach. You can't touch someone whose frequency is so far above yours that your negativity can't even find the address. And that's exactly what happened, isn't it? While they were busy plotting, you were busy evolving. While they were casting, you were cleansing. While they were scheming in the shadows, you were standing in your truth so bright, so unapologetically radiant, that their darkness couldn't even get close enough to breathe on you. They sent jealousy, you were grateful. They sent rage, you were at peace. They sent chaos, you built structure. They sent curses, and your aura, your magnificent, untouchable, protected aura, it looked at their spell and laughed. Not a nervous laugh, not a worried laugh. A deep, knowing, cosmic laugh that said, "Is this really all you've got?" Because your energy didn't just deflect their attack, it consumed it. It ate their witchcraft like breakfast and asked for seconds. And now they're sitting in the wreckage of their own intentions, wondering why their lives are falling apart while yours is flourishing. Here's the part they'll never admit, the part that eats them alive in the quiet hours. They knew you were protected. Deep down, in that place where intuition whispers truth they refuse to hear, they knew. They saw your light, and it terrified them. They saw your peace, and it exposed their chaos. They saw your growth, and it reminded them of their stagnation. So they didn't attack you because you wronged them. They attacked you because you reflected everything they refused to become. You were the mirror they couldn't shatter, the standard they couldn't meet, the energy they couldn't corrupt. And instead of rising to match your frequency, instead of doing their own inner work, instead of healing their own wounds, they chose the coward's path. They chose manipulation over transformation. They chose witchcraft over work. They chose to tear you down instead of building themselves up. And that decision, that choice to use dark arts against someone walking in light, that's when they sealed their own fate. Because here's what every practitioner of genuine spiritual power knows. The universe doesn't take sides, but it absolutely keeps score. Energy is neutral, but intention creates consequence. When you send negativity towards someone who's genuinely trying to heal, grow, and evolve, when you weaponize spiritual practices against an innocent target, the cosmic backlash isn't punishment. It's physics. It's the natural law of cause and effect. It's the boomerang principle on a metaphysical level. They threw stones at your peace and wondered why their own glass houses shattered. They planted seeds of destruction in your garden and can't understand why their own soil turned toxic. They wished you pain, and now they're drowning in it. Not because you cursed them back, not because you sought revenge, but because the universe has a way of teaching people not to play with fires they can't control. And witchcraft aimed at the protected? That's not fire. That's a nuclear reactor they just cracked open with their bare hands. Let's talk about the signs, the evidence, the undeniable proof that their spell didn't just fail, it backfired spectacularly. You started noticing things, didn't you? Subtle at first, then impossible to ignore. You felt their energy coming, that heavy, suffocating, desperate energy trying to attach itself to your peace. But instead of sinking, you felt lighter. Instead of breaking, you felt stronger. Instead of falling apart, you fell into alignment. Opportunities started appearing out of nowhere. Doors that were closed suddenly swung open. People who never noticed you started seeing you, really seeing you, and treating you like royalty. Your intuition sharpened to the point where you could feel manipulation before it even reached you. Your discernment became surgical, cutting through fake love, false friends, and hidden agendas like a blade through silk. And meanwhile, across town, across the internet, across whatever distance they put between you and them, they're unraveling. Their relationships are imploding, aren't they? You don't even have to check, you can feel it. The same people who joined them in their little hexing sessions are now turning on each other, projecting, blaming, fighting over scraps of the same toxic energy they tried to send your way. Their health is declining, mysterious symptoms the doctors can't explain, exhaustion that sleep won't cure, anxiety that medication won't touch. Their finances are in free fall, money slipping through their fingers like water, opportunities evaporating, investments crashing, plans collapsing. Their reputation, oh, their precious reputation, it's crumbling. People are starting to see them for who they really are, not the mask, not the persona, but the truth underneath. And the more they try to hold it together, the faster it falls apart. Because they didn't just attack you, they attacked the principle you represent. They declared war on light itself. And light doesn't fight back, it simply exposes, it reveals. It illuminates everything hiding in the dark, including them. Now let's get into the mechanics of why this happened, because this isn't magic, this is metaphysics. When someone with genuine inner work, someone who's faced their shadows, healed their wounds, and aligned with their truth, when that person becomes the target of someone operating from ego, envy, and unhealed trauma, there's a frequency mismatch. Think of it like trying to hack a computer with a stone tablet. Their low vibrational attack can't interface with your high vibrational operating system. It doesn't compute. So what happens? The energy they send out, that dense, heavy, malicious energy, it can't penetrate your field, but it also can't just disappear. Energy doesn't vanish, it transforms. It redirects. And in this case, it redirected right back to the sender with compound interest. Every ounce of jealousy they felt toward you came back as self-hatred. Every bit of rage they sent your way came back as inner turmoil. Every curse they whispered became a prison they built for themselves. You became the mirror, and mirrors don't absorb, they reflect. Here's where it gets even more poetic, even more devastatingly perfect. The harder they tried, the worse it got for them. Every candle they burned in your name became a candle lighting up their own darkness. Every name they wrote became a signature on their own karmic contract. Every intention they set against you became a blueprint for their own destruction. They thought they were controlling you, but they were programming their own downfall. They thought they were powerful, but they were powerless against someone who didn't even know they were being attacked because your protection wasn't something you had to think about. It was woven into your essence. You didn't need to fight because you were never in a battle. You were in a garden, growing, blooming, thriving, while they were in a war room, strategizing against an enemy who didn't even register them as a threat. And that indifference, that unbothered energy, that's what drove them absolutely insane. Because the opposite of love isn't hate, it's apathy. And you were so deeply, peacefully apathetic to their existence that it negated every spell they cast. Let's talk about protection. Real protection. Not the kind you buy in a shop or read in a book, but the kind you earn through integrity. See, people think protection comes from crystals, rituals, prayers, and while those things can help, they're not the source. The source is alignment. When your words match your actions, when your intentions match your energy, when your inner world matches your outer world, you become unhackable. There's no crack for negativity to slip through. No wound for manipulation to exploit. No fear for curses to feed on. You become a fortress not because you built walls, but because you removed the doors that betrayal used to walk through. You became selective about who you let close, discerning about what energy you entertain, ruthless about protecting your peace. And that selectivity, that discernment, that ruthlessness, it created a field around you so strong that their witchcraft bounced off it like a pebble off a windshield. They thought they were launching missiles. You didn't even feel a breeze. And now comes the beautiful part, the part they never saw coming. You're not just protected, you're promoted. The same energy they tried to use to bury you is now the fertilizer for your elevation. Every attack became an opportunity. Every curse became a catalyst. Every hex became a stepping stone to heights they'll never reach. You got the job they said you'd never get. You built the life they said you didn't deserve. You found the peace they said was impossible. You became the version of yourself they were terrified you'd become. And they have to watch. Oh, they have to watch. Because the universe has a wicked sense of irony. The same people who tried to make you invisible now can't look away. The same people who tried to silence you now hear your name everywhere. The same people who tried to stop you now have front row seats to your success. And it's killing them softly, slowly, completely. Not because you're rubbing it in their faces, but because your mere existence, your thriving, unbothered, blessed existence, is proof that they failed. But here's where you need to pay attention, because this isn't over yet. And this is where most people make the fatal mistake. They feel the shift, they see the reversal. They recognize that they're winning and the attackers are losing. And then, out of misplaced compassion, out of old patterns of people-pleasing, out of some distorted idea of being the bigger person, they open the door again. They offer olive branches to people who came with axes. They give second chances to those who never deserved the first. They let their guard down, thinking the war is over, not realizing the enemy just changed tactics. Don't do that. Don't you dare do that. Your protection isn't a shield you can take off when things feel safe. It's a permanent upgrade to your operating system. These people showed you who they are when they thought you were weak. They revealed their true nature when they believed you were vulnerable. And people like that, people who resort to spiritual manipulation, emotional warfare, and energetic attacks, they don't change, they just get better at hiding. So your job now isn't forgiveness, it's discernment. Your responsibility isn't reconciliation, it's continuation. Keep rising, keep thriving, keep protecting your peace like it's the most valuable thing you own, because it is. Let me tell you what's happening to them right now, in real time, while you're watching this. They're spiraling. They're checking your social media even though they said they blocked you. They're asking mutual friends about you even though they claimed they didn't care. They're watching your success, your peace, your glow, and it's eating them from the inside out. They're trying new spells, new rituals, new practitioners, throwing money at psychics and energy workers, begging for solutions to a problem they created. And every single attempt fails. Every candle fizzles out. Every ritual backfires. Every spell returns to sender. Because you can't curse someone the universe is actively blessing. You can't hex someone destiny is actively protecting. You can't touch someone who's genuinely aligned with their purpose. They're fighting against cosmic law at this point. And cosmic law doesn't lose. It doesn't negotiate. It doesn't compromise. It simply is. And what it is right now, in this moment, is crystal clear. You're untouchable. They're unraveling. You're ascending. They're descending. You ate their witchcraft, and it nourished you. Here's the final piece, the part that seals this entire story. You didn't win because you were stronger in the traditional sense. You didn't win because you fought harder or played dirtier. You won because you refused to play at all. While they were obsessing over you, you were obsessing over your growth. While they were plotting your downfall, you were plotting your next level. While they were studying you, you were studying yourself, healing, evolving, transforming. You became so focused on your own journey that their attacks couldn't find a target. You became a moving target, always shifting, always growing, always one step ahead of where they thought you were. And that's the secret. That's the cheat code. That's the thing they'll never understand. You can't be cursed when you're constantly becoming. You can't be hexed when you're perpetually evolving. You can't be touched when you're spiritually untouchable. Not because of what you have, but because of who you are. Your aura didn't just eat their spell. Your aura became so refined, so elevated, so powerful that their spell never stood a chance. It was breakfast, a light snack, an appetizer before the main course of your destiny. So here's what you do now. Here's how you move forward from this moment. You keep walking, you keep rising, you keep building. You don't look back to see if they're watching, because you already know they are. You don't waste energy wondering if they've learned their lesson, because that's not your responsibility. You don't dim your light to make them comfortable, because their comfort was never your concern. You live so fully, so authentically, so unapologetically, that your life becomes the only spell you need. Your joy becomes your protection. Your peace becomes your power. Your success becomes your revenge, not because you sought it, but because you earned it. You become living proof that witchcraft aimed at the innocent doesn't just fail, it creates the very thing it tried to prevent. It creates legends. It creates testimonies. It creates people like you. People who walked through the fire of someone else's hatred and came out forged in unbreakable strength. You're not a victim of their spell. You're the evidence that their spell never worked. You're the walking, talking, thriving proof that light always, always, always defeats darkness. Not by fighting it, but by simply refusing to be dimmed by it. And to them, to those who tried, to those who plotted, to those who genuinely believed they could break you, there's only one thing left to say. Thank you. Thank you for showing me who not to trust. Thank you for teaching me the value of discernment. Thank you for proving that not everyone deserves access to my energy. Thank you for trying to curse me, because in doing so, you forced me to discover just how protected I really am. You forced me to tap into strength I didn't know I had. You forced me to build boundaries I should have built years ago. You tried to destroy me, and instead, you created the most powerful version of me that's ever existed. So thank you, genuinely. From the bottom of my unbothered, blessed, thriving heart, thank you for being the villain in my story, because every hero needs one. And now that this chapter is over, now that your spell is digested, absorbed, and transformed into fuel for my next level, there's only one question left. What's next? What else you got? Because my aura just ate your best shot like breakfast, and honey, it's still hungry. Class dismissed. Game over. You lost. I won. And we both know you'll spend the rest of your life wondering how someone you underestimated became someone you can't stop thinking about. That's the real curse. Living with the knowledge that you had a chance to support something beautiful, and instead you tried to destroy it. Now you get to watch it flourish without you, forever. Sleep well. But wait, hold on, because we're not done here. We're not even close to done. See, what just happened, what we just walked through, that was the surface level. That was the appetizer. Now we're about to dig into the main course, the part they don't want you to know, the part that keeps them up at night, refreshing your page, checking your energy, wondering how on earth someone they tried to destroy is not just surviving, but absolutely dominating. Let's talk about the aftermath, the psychological warfare that's happening inside their minds right now while you're out here living your best life. Because here's the thing they didn't calculate, here's the variable they left out of their little dark equation. When you send evil towards someone and it doesn't work, when you throw your strongest punch and they don't even flinch, when you use every tool in your arsenal and they come out shinier than before, you don't just lose the battle. You lose your mind. You lose your confidence. You lose your grip on reality. Because now you're forced to confront a terrifying possibility. Maybe you're not as powerful as you thought. Maybe your witchcraft is amateur hour. Maybe the person you targeted is operating on a level so far above yours that you look like a child throwing pebbles at a mountain and expecting it to crumble. And that realization, that ego-shattering, identity-crushing realization, it's destroying them from the inside out. They can't sleep anymore because every time they close their eyes, they see your face, your smile, your peace. They can't focus anymore because every time they try to move forward, they're haunted by the question of how you're still standing. They can't enjoy anything anymore because every success you have feels like a personal insult to their failed mission. They've become prisoners of their